YouTube, and Happy New Year. I'm back from my winter vacation in California, and it was all nice and sunny for 2 weeks, and now I'm in the gray, gloomy, very muddy Portland weather. It's a bit jarring and trying to get back used to that. But I had a really nice vacation. I had visited that location back in August. So this time around, I didn't feel the need to go as much. And so I spent most of the time just hanging out with like family and friends. And it was just the kind of vacation I wanted to end the year. And speaking of end of the year, I am planning on filming a couple of videos related to just wrapping up 2023 and my goals for 2024. I'm really enjoying watching everyone's videos on those topics, and I have an idea like knocking around in my brain I'll discuss with later in one of those videos. But I did go to several bookstores when I was in California, and I knew I came away with two giant brown bags worth of books. And I had just went to several bookstores previous to the vacation, and this is just coming on the tails of finishing up the 100 book challenge, where I read 100 books that I own, or got rid of 100 books I own, and so I'm trying to hold myself accountable here. Although it was like my birthday, Christmas, and a vacation, so I knew that was kind of going to be my downfall, but I do have plans to curtail the slippery slope of going back to buying and owning so many books that that becomes a stress. But these aren't stressful. This is fun. But yeah, I need to like rein it in a little bit coming into this new year. So anyway, I just want to get into what I've purchased. A lot of these seem to be, as I was fiddling through this, books about like nonfiction, and several about the American West, and others are children's books. So yeah, we'll just go through these one at a time. This first one is Postcards from Potato Land by Marian Love. The title is what drew me in. This is like, it seems to be like humorous tales all about potatoes. This woman is living in Idaho, Sandpoint, Idaho, and there's like often little like illustrations. So yeah, this is like fun to go through, and like with this gloomy weather, I might need a little pick me up, and getting back into work, and that's never exactly fun. So yeah, just wanted something to make me laugh. And the very first picture was like, yeah, it's a potato wearing a cowboy hat. So this has, I'm sure this will cheer me up. This next one is Flip Flop Girl by Katherine Paterson. I got this book because she is the author of Bridge to Terabithia, and I really like that one. So I'm like, even though the title is, it's okay. I do like the cover with the pumpkins. I don't really understand the flip-flop part of this, but yeah, I was willing to give this a shot, knowing that I really like the author. And again, I feel like I see this in every video, but sorry if you hear like these chomping noises, because Fable Girl is sitting right beside me, chewing on one of her little bones there. Okay, here's another one by Katherine Paterson, Jip, His Story. And this is Jip's past as a puzzle, and solving it is a mystery. So yeah, I'm not going to get too much into details into these books because I have so many of them. The Witch Herself by Phyllis Reynolds Naylor. And I believe she wrote Shiloh, I want to say. Yeah, this book came out before Shiloh, but do I have it on my shelf? I think that's one of the books I unhauled, because like I can get that available on ebook. But I like the old style here and the cover as well. A Country Christmas. They were having a sale at this place where I think it was like they're 20 cents for Christmas books. So I got several of those. This is by Bonnie Lou Risby. Is there any little illustrations? No. Okay, and then The House Without a Christmas Tree by Gail Rock. Again, one of the older covers. And then switching gears to some nonfiction, I have Winter, Notes from Montana by Rick Bass. I really like this author. I've read several books, and I actually just read one yesterday, and so I will get into that when I do my weekly wrap-up. But he writes a lot of nature books set in Montana, in an area that he is constantly, I feel like, at least in the books I've read, constantly, like, not exactly being a cheerleader, that's not the right word, but trying to conserve the area that he is living in, where it's a national forest, and he's trying to, not have the lumber companies come in and just like take all the trees out kind of deal. Because the area he lives in, it's like northwestern Montana. west of Glacier National Park. And so that area is not typically what you would think of Montana being, because it almost sounds to me like Portland in a way, where it's more of a wet tree filled area compared to like the more drier parts of Montana, even like Missoula. So yeah, there's that one. And I'm going to hopefully get to it this winter. Riding the White Horse Home, a Western family album by Teresa Jordan. And you can see I got these from the same exact like shelf area, but this is in 1886. Teresa's great-grandfather, J.L. Jordan, left Maryland for the West. It was on Wyoming's Iron Mountain that the ranch began and survived for nearly 100 years. And this is the bookstore I got it from. This is Booktown Books in Grass Valley. And it's 4,000 square feet of books, because this is a co-op. So even though I went to like the Western, nonfiction section, there's like little like cubicles in a way where each bookstore owner had like their own taste in books. So some areas were just mystery, or some had like a full bookstore arrangement. Each had like nonfiction, fiction, children's, mystery, whatever. And so it just depended on the seller you went to, which little area what it held. And so you kind of just want to browse all of them. I think it was either like 18 or 20 different stall areas, and so some of them were bigger than others. This one that I went to, that area had this whole like back room, so it was interesting and a great way to spend some time and seeing all that was there. And so yeah, if you're in Grass Valley is a really fun area. There's lots of like, speaking of the West, there's lots of like old Western vibes where it has like the storefront and like the walkways where you can just see like all the old streets and with the brick and whatnot, and you feel like you're gonna turn the corner and have like a saloon with the swinging doors kind of thing. And I did take a couple of pictures. I didn't get any video clips, so I'll just post them on Instagram probably for that trip. So this next one is This Cold Heaven: 7 Seasons in Greenland by Gretel Ehrlich, and I really like this author as well. She wrote, can I get this in easy reach? Maybe. Well, anyway, she wrote several books. Does this mention? Let me see here real quick. Because she's also like a famous nature writer. The Solace of Open Spaces, and several. The Solace of Open Spaces, and there's another one that she recently wrote. Kind of like a sequel in a way to Solace of Open Spaces. But this is all about her time in Greenland, which she has mentioned a couple of times in her previous books. But this is solely dedicated to her time there, and she travels all over the world, it seems. And so glad to have that one. Story of the Great American West. This is the Reader's Digest version. I got this. This was half off, so it was $1.25, and has tons of, and even has like the old postcards from Reader's Digest as well. So, but there's tons of illustrations, and they're all color illustrations, which was fun. I love these kind of like tabletop books, and I do read them as books. So yeah, all sorts of information, like how the West was settled and like the trains and all of that. So let me put this aside here. Okay, more books about the West. Wallace Stegner and the American West by Philip L. Fradkin. He wrote a book, Angle of Repose, that was actually set in Grass Valley, where I purchased this book. So it all like ties in together. But yeah, he was written like several, I feel like, classic books in a way, and so happy to have a biography of him. Switching back to some children's books. This is a Dear America book, A Picture of Freedom, and I got this at a little free library. It's The Diary of Claudie, a slave girl, and it always has a location at the bottom. So this was a Belmont Plantation, Virginia, 1859. And so if I see these around, especially like little free libraries where it's free, I will pick them up. I love these as a kid. It was kind of like my introduction to historical fiction in a way, and like love of history. And so whenever I see these, I grab them because they're always like little fun quick reads. My Homes in Montana by Karen Bratt. This is another book I got half off. This was 75 cents, so you can't pass up a good deal. This is Drama, Danger, Delight, and Disappointment. Draws the reader into an era, a way of life that is nearly unknowable, except to the hardy few who still stake their claim in the prairies of Montana. And so it goes back from her family's struggling to hold the place and like under Montana's big sky, and goes from homesteading, Dust Bowls, Great Depression, and a World War into the current day when she is on the land. So you can see a theme here with what I've been picking up. Anne M. Martin, A Corner of the Universe, and this is a Newbery Honor book. Anne M. Martin wrote the Babysitter's Club series, and I've read quite a few of these now. I don't know where I'm at. I think I'm on like book 40 or 41, and I'm like slowly reading those throughout the years. But they're all like brand new to me because I never read them as a kid. But I saw this, I was like, oh, this will be fun to read something else by her. And with an honor book, Newbery Honor book, it still is my goal to read through the Newbery honors and winners, and I'm getting there slowly but surely, but not in the time that I would have liked. I think initially when I started that project a couple of years ago, I was like, okay, 2 or 3 years to do it. But I think if I had focused my children's book reading on that, then I would have completed it by now. But I'm just reading anything that comes my way, in a sense, for the children's book. So, yeah. But I am still keeping that goal in mind. Plain and Simple, A Woman's Journey to the Amish by Sue Bender. And this was interesting because it said the author was always interested in the Amish. So she went and visited them and interviewed them, and I don't know if she's living with them or what, but it's interesting to see basically this person's like interest in them and what sparked that interest, and then like, how does their encounters with them, does it change her mind or what have you? So we'll see. And it also has a letter from like the friend who gave it to her, a long letter, and there was also like illustrations and whatnot, like different quilts and different like utensils and whatnot that they use. So this will be fun and really quick. It's like, I feel like less than 100 pages or so. 145. And this cost me whatever half of 75 cents is. But yeah, anyway. And then with a little sticker means, yeah, it was half off. So, because it was a place where I guess they were swamped by, it was a thrift store where they got a bunch of books. And so they wanted to make room for the new year. So like everything was 50 to 75% off. So it was like, I didn't know about that before I went to the store. So it was a nice little surprise. Sleepover Friends, an Apple paperback. This was actually mentioned. It was way at the top, but I have a book about different series, like the Babysitter's Club, Sweet Valley High. Those kind of books are all in this bind up. It talks about like the different eras from like the 70s through the 90s, and so this series was mentioned. So I had heard about it, reading that book, but now I'll own a copy to read. And okay, then I have some more books. Sorry, this might be a little bit of a long video, but I was like, why not sit down and show you everything I got. Dreams of Victory by Ellen Conford. And this says, Victory has a tough time living up to her name. One of those old Apple paperback. Another one is Nothing's Fair in the 5th Grade by Barthy DeClements. Does anyone remember these like book levels with like the point system? My middle school used this, and I loved it because I would just break in the points. It's kind of like a Goodreads reading challenge each semester, or through the year. I can't remember if they did semester or year. I was like very competitive just with myself. I didn't really mind what everyone else was reading, but I wanted like the most points possible. So sometimes I would get in like swings of reading like lots of shorter books with getting lots of points that way, or the bigger books. I remember I would go back and forth with that. But yeah, does anyone remember? I'm sure other schools had to have done that point system, and you had to like take a quiz after each book to prove that you had read it. The River Between Us by Richard Peck. Richard Peck is a children's author I really like. I have like 3 or 4 books on my shelf by him, and so I got this one, and this is about the Civil War, where the main character's twin brother has been marching and drilling with other boys in the town, and it seems to be like he's going to decide if he's going to be for the North or the South, and then the turmoil of her brother going into the war. Here's another bookmark. Oh, this is a Christmas bookmark, and it's laminated, and it seems like someone has drawn it. Maybe it's like homemade, so I had to get that. Let's see. This is a Zebra Regency romance by Melinda Beth Skinner, Lord Logic and the Wedding Wish. Yeah, I like these like Regency books because they remind me like Pride and Prejudice. Okay. Heartland Portrait, Stories from the Rural Midwest by Robert Wolfe. And I think this is an anthology because it says edited by him. Yeah, there's a whole list of different themes and many different authors. So there's Farm Crisis, Simple Times, Land Stewardship, Local Food, Minnesota, Villages. So yeah, this will be interesting. Own the Volga, A Journey Through Mother Russia in a Time of Troubles, by Mark de Villers. I've read a couple of books about Russia, but not near enough. I feel like, and it's just constantly been in the news recently, and this book was not written recently, but let me see when it was written. But it would be interesting to learn more about Russia. Let's see here, 1991. So yeah, coming just out of the Cold War. Okay. Two Roads to Sumter by William and Bruce Catton. I know Bruce Catton's work, but I've never read anything by William. And this is the heartbreaking march to the Civil War. And it seems to just give like a surface level of a variety of topics related to the Civil War. And he's written several books on Sumter that was in several of his series, his like trilogies. But let's see, this came out in 1963. But yeah, I'll have to like dig in to see like the difference between this book and his others. But yeah, this seems like more of like a broad-ranging, like surface level topic in a sense. But I'll find out and report back. The Balance of Nature by Loris J. and Marjorie Milne. It's the internal drama of the battle to survival among the species. What caught my eye was that it's illustrated by Olaus J. Murray, and he illustrated one of my favorite books, and he was married to Margaret E. Murray. Two in the Far North is one of my favorite outdoor like adventure books, and he illustrated that this book. This one, the copy I had illustrations, but it doesn't have just has a couple. Let me see. So each little chapter will have one. But anyway, this is good with or without the illustrations. But let me see what this one has. Lots of like little spot illustrations. So yeah, this is what caught my eye. I'm sure the book will be fantastic as well. But yeah, wanted something else by Olaus Murray. But yeah, I have to like look into like why I recently got this from Pals a couple of months ago, and I was just happy to snatch it up. But because I could have sworn like the ebook I read of this had more illustrations than that. Okay, let's see. Joan Medlicott, A Covington Christmas. Again, the Christmas books were half off, so I think this was like 25 cents. And this is not an author I've read before, but it says get ready for 5 special Christmas weddings. So yeah, that's a lot in this little cute little church. Okay, I'm almost done. I just have a couple of bigger books left. Camps and Cottages, A Stylish Blend of Old and New by Molly Hyde English. And this is all about different homes in America. But yeah, camps and cottages, rustic retreats, country gardens. This isn't my typical kind of book, but I just wanted to be able to like flip the pictures basically. I'm sure there'll be some worthy writing as well. This is like the camp part of it. But I was like, why not read a book with like, if I can't necessarily always go on like cabin retreats, why not read a book that includes them? We can always dream. Okay, and then I think there's one more, and then the rest are all part of a series. This is A Coventry Christmas by Becky Cochran. Is that part? Yeah, that was different because this is Covington, and then this is the other Christmas book I have. It says every girl needs a little Christmas magic, and just like a fun, whimsical kind of cover. Okay, and these last ones I have are American Heritage. These are from December 1968, and then the rest are 1969. And I'll just show you the covers here. And they're all kind of like newspaper articles or like magazines and yeah, like hardcover magazine articles. And there's lots of pictures, and like the first half of the book is colored illustrations. I mean, yeah, colored paintings and whatnot. And then the back half is in black and white, and a different kind of material, like a papery material, whereas the front part is a magazine, like the glossy pages. There's the back cover of that one. I had a bind up, which I think it includes like a summary of throughout the years of the American Heritage, but these are like the actual like individual books volumes. And then like each book, it is, I don't think there's a specific theme. I think it ranges like a wide variety of topics. Yeah, like with presidents and history of the law and blah blah blah. So yeah, they're more interesting than I'm making them sound, I feel like. And these were in good condition, especially considering that they were from 1969. Like there's no, like, they're not ragged, they're not torn off or anything like that. So happy to get those. And there's the last one here with the sword, and then there. Okay, so yeah, I can't do a pile of books because I have too many. But yeah, I wanted to get on here and film a video and, you know, start the new year. I hope this doesn't make it like a precedence for this new year, because like I said, I do want to curtail the book buying and just like save it for special occasions or what have you. But yeah, I'll get into that when I talk about my goals. But anyway, I'm happy to be back, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks, BookTube.